at Shooter's Sports Bar and Billiards in Grays Lake, October 8th. Details at 95WIILRock.com. Thanks to Travel Leaders and Fun Jet Vacations.
.95 Will Rock, the Rock Station. Tom and Leah, Will Rock Morning Show. I'm going to cry. Not right now, but when I see this movie. The name of the movie is Just a Bit Outside, the story of the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers. What do I always say about baseball? What's my number one thing about baseball?
Baseball.
The Scum Cardinals.
Oh, the Scum Cardinals.
It is the one
yeah,
thing
because they took it.
All of our listeners can agree on is F the Cardinals.
Not all of them.
Because Cub fans, it's a rivalry.
Yes.
They hate the Cardinals fans. And Brewer fans, back when the Brewers were in the American League in 1982, they went to the World Series. I was 16. It was the most exciting time of my life. And I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it didn't go well. So there's a movie about it. Now we go live to a guy I went to high school with. Kelly Kahl is, where are you? In Napa? He's in California.
I am in Napa Valley.
Yeah.
The mobile studio, because the sun's not even up here yet.
Sun is just getting ready to come up. So Kelly Kahl, Burlington High School. Is your dad still with us? Your dad was the woodshop teacher.
Dad was the wood shop. He's still with us and doing great. Still goes up to the high school once or twice a week.
Yeah, my parents are, but so I have all 10 of my fingers because Kelly's dad yelled at us to use our push sticks. He was a very good teacher, Mr. Kahl. So I did not go on to be a woodshop guy, though. I was not good at it. So Kelly is out in California. He does all sorts of entertainment stuff. If you enjoyed the meteoric rise of CBS, the #1 network in the history of man,
he was involved.
That's Kelly's a lot of that stuff. And now he's doing a movie. He did a movie. You're the producer for this movie, Just a Bit Outside. When we were in high school, when I was 16, you were probably 17, the Brewers in the World Series. I remember me and Perry Hintz would go up and drive up and down Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee, partying every day. We'd get out of the car and walk up and down and drink beer and celebrate the Brewers. It was an exciting time, and they were this close to winning the World Series. And you have decided to take the most horrible ending in the history of sports and rub up my nose in it decades later. Tell us about how the movie came about and what it is.
Well, it kind of started with me. I got to play golf with Gorman Thomas, who was kind of the storied center fielder, hit a lot of home runs, struck out a lot, ran into the wall a lot. And he was my idol growing up when
I
I
love
was 14,
all love
15.
Gorman Thomas. We all wanted to be Gorman Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah, he was my guy. So we got on the golf course, and story after story after story, mostly involving the team out at Kansas City or Boston or Cleveland at 2 a.m. And I golfed with him for a couple of years, and all these stories kind of piled up. And so I talked to my friend and collaborator Sean Hanish, and I said, and fellow Brewer fan and Milwaukeeite, and he said, yeah, there's something here. So we started talking to these guys, and after doing some phone interviews with the players, we started filming them. And I think the thing that we found that was interesting, a couple things. One, there was this kind of love affair between the city and this team. Blue collar guys, they would drink in the parking lot after the game with the team. They're out in the bars after games with the people, in a way that teams just can't do now.
Yeah.
And without people sticking cameras in their faces.
Their nickname was a drink. They were Harvey's Wallbangers. And
Harvey's Wallbangers.
You ever go to a bar and you see that giant bottle of Galliano? It's the big tall with yellow in it.
Okay.
That's the only drink I can think of that uses Galliano is the Harvey Wallbanger. And Harvey Keene was the manager, and they would hit home runs like crazy. So they were so it's Milwaukee.
Sense.
Let's give our team a drink nickname. So yeah. That was crazy.
So they had kind of an up and down season. They went into the season with high hopes, very high hopes, and then the season did not start well. They fired the manager. They put in Harvey Keene. Then the team kind of went on this incredible run, but the end of the season was very much up and down. And several times they had to, it was win or go home, and they won a bunch of those games in a row right until they got to Game 7. The game they knew they were going to win, but didn't quite get it done.
Yeah, don't spoil the ending. And when they won the ALCS, you can see in your mind the catch and the jump off of the bag and the fans and the insanity that ensued. And it was just, and they were a team of destiny. And I don't want to spoil the ending. The movie, Kelly, is doing incredibly well. Like on Rotten Tomatoes, have you seen the score?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What is it? What is the score? It's like the highest scoring movie right now.
Yeah, we're the number one movie in the country in terms of audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. We're 99% because a couple people gave us we were at 100%, and a couple people gave us only 4.5 stars instead of 5. But
probably
we'll take 99.
Yeah. But so it's doing really well, and it was released in Wisconsin. Obviously, it's in Wisconsin. All Wisconsin people are going to be into this, Brewers fans. And now it's trickled down here. We're like, I can walk down. I'll be at the theater in 3 minutes here in Gurney Mills. There are Brewers fans that, because of the proliferation of people around, it's kind of a giant suburb. There are Brewers fans in Illinois. So it's now released here. This is the first Illinois place is Gurney Mills today, right? Yeah. Is there a plan to go national with this? Because outside of being a Brewers fan, it's a solid story. It's a great story.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this, and I think even, Cubs and White Sox fans could relate to being in love with a team and, not, to be honest, not quite getting it done. The Cubs were the lovable losers for a long, long time. And I think it's more of a universal story. If you like baseball at all, or you really like characters, this team was full of characters.
Yeah.
Yount, Vukovic, Gorman, they were kind of nutbags.
The team itself was a story like, Bud Selig stealing it from Texas, basically in the middle of the night. Their colors are blue because they didn't have the uniforms they needed. That's what the Seattle Pilots were. Gorman Thomas was the only real tie to the Seattle Pilots too, which was, that's a movie too. The Seattle Pilots, that is a dumpster fire right there. So I've been to all but 8 ballparks. I'm going to come out and we're going to go to I have not been to San Diego, drive down the PCH and go there. Kelly, I'd like to see a baseball game with you because I can tell you're a fan too. And we'll talk about the glory days of the Brewers. Just a bit outside.com is the website. What are you going to do with the movie? Are you doing the film festival circuit? Is it going to go wider release or streaming? Because I think everybody needs to see it.
Yeah, we're in the Newport Beach Film Festival next month. The people at Marcus Theaters have been so good to us. We're kind of completing our run with them, and they've expanded us to a second week in Wisconsin, which was more than we thought, and then putting us down in Gurney is amazing. So we're kind of playing it week by week. we do have plans. We're getting letters now and texts and emails from people all over the country saying, how can I see it? How can I see it? So we're working on plans to make sure everybody can see it.
Okay. All right. What was I had one more thing I was going to, the current team. I went the other night. I was hoping they'd clinch while I was there. They didn't. Then they clinched the next night in really great fashion in the ninth. And then they had Bob Uecker, who's 90, down on the field, and they were interviewing him. I put this, if you go on my Facebook, I put the clip of Bob Uecker saying he didn't know if it was champagne or if he had wet his pants. And I put the clip from Bob Uecker is a character of characters. And the name of the film, Just a Bit Outside, comes from his line in, Major League, which was about Cleveland, but was filmed in Milwaukee, where this movie takes place. It's like if you wrote this story, people would be like, that's a little unbelievable. And then what happened to the Brewers? I won't spoil it. They were so close. It wrote itself, and I'm thrilled that you made it into a movie. What do you think of the current team? I think when you release the film wider or on video, at the end, the epilogue is a black screen and said, and the Milwaukee Brewers finally got it done in 2024. And they do it, and then Uecker dies. I hope he does. Whatever.
Well, we interviewed him for the film. He was amazing. And when a lot of people, he was with the team all the time. He was a member of the team. He threw batting practice every day. He was out at the bars with them. He was as much a member of the team as any of the guys. They all say that, and he says it as well. He was a big part of the movie. And in terms of this year,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, in terms of this year, God, we pray they go to the World Series. We would love that. That would be better.
Epilogue on the screen at the end of your movie, and in 2024, and there's for Bob and Bob Uecker, and they finally get it done. And then there's your next movie. Have you seen on YouTube? There's a Bob Uecker mini. It's like an ESPN documentary or whatever. Yeah. It's like 20 minutes. Bob Uecker deserves to be a full-on movie. So maybe that's your next project. So
he's amazing, and he was really good to us.
Look at me telling Kelly Kahl how to do movies and television. And then I have an idea for Jesse James Dupree from Jackal. That's a reality show blended with a scripted drama. But I'll send you my proposal, Kelly. You got people.
I'm ready, Tom.
We'll put it at the top of his list. I'm sure.
Kelly, your father won't remember me. I was not a good woodshop kid, but please tell him thank you for all he did for the kids. And he was a great teacher when I had him, and I'm glad he's doing well still. And thanks for doing this movie. It had to be done. Just a Bit Outside premieres today here in Gurnee. It's in Wisconsin for another week, and then Kelly's going to get it out there once the Brewers win the World Series in a few weeks and get it wide release so everybody can go see it. Timmy Deaton said he cried. I'm going to cry, right?
Tom, you're going to cry.
Yeah.
He cried at Deadpool.
All right, I was high. All right. Gummies are legal in Illinois. Kelly, drugs bad, by the way, but yeah.
I'll tell you, when we showed it to the players last week, we had a big premiere. They wept a little bit. They're still tough guys, and they didn't really want to show it. But if you look down the road, they were all doing a little of this at the end.
Thank you for taking one of the worst things that happened in my life and turning into a film, Kelly Kahl. I can't wait to see it. Just a Bit Outside the movie.com. If you want to know more, we appreciate you getting up, and I'll let you go enjoy Napa. Thanks for you taking Napa and Napa. Waka waka. Why make the medium money? Kelly, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You bet. There's Kelly Kahl, Burlington High School alumnus and movie producer, and Just a Bit Outside is showing here at Gurnee Mills Cinema.
At Gurnee Mills.
You want to go? I'll take you. I'll buy popcorn.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll go Tuesday.
You'll cry too. All right. Sounds good. It's
$6 Tuesday.
$8.50. I'll buy.
Mostly sunny and 83 today. Times are tough, Tom.
Yeah, I know. Ride Report coming up, and happy hour with Sandlots of Salem after 9 on WIIL Rock.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Awesome. Tom, go see the movie.